In the night that saw or that led to this morning, we all saw to it that PSG was knocked out by Borussia Dortmund. And if at all you've been a regular onto this channel, I told you my faves to play in the final. I told you Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. Those are my faves in there for you. And I was so much hesitant that Borussia Dortmund is really going to be the team that is going to come out and obviously knock out the side of PSG, because I have my reasons with the PSG, my reservations. When you choose to obviously go out and really choose to rebuild the side, you have to really sell all the stars. When you look at PSG, they went ahead to make what we call an overhaul. You know, they let Verratti go. He was a superstar. They let Sergio Ramos go. He was a superstar. They let Lionel Messi go. They let Neymar go. They let Angel Di Maria go. They let close to very many players leave. You know, close to 10 players were really on the exit list of PSG. And they were building a new project. And the biggest mistake they did was to get Kylian Mbappe and make him the face of this project and keep him around. If I was PSG, I would have gone ahead to sell Kylian Mbappe way back in the summer of 2023, because he wanted to go to Real Madrid and they stopped him. And this is where it acts as a pain in the ass to the president of PSG. Financially, he's losing out on a lot of money, I understand. However much there is a part of the sign-on fee they're going to get, but it's not worth the 160 million euros they would have gone ahead to get from Real Madrid in the summer last season, because in the summer of 2023, Kylian Mbappe came out and made it clear that I'm not going to trigger the further one-year contract I'm really having. And they kept looking at him like that, and they fought to feel that they can convince him to stay. And that was really diabolical for the side of PSG. And now, Mbappe cannot lead them to where they wanted to be. And we look at the team on how they played. You saw to it that Kylian Mbappe's head was not at Paris Saint-Germain anymore. I noticed it when they are playing against which side did they knock out? Barcelona. If Barcelona ever got a red card over Rojo, they would have gone ahead to knock out the side of PSG. I tell you this. So he was out of action. He was never seen. And in that game, to score a brace, they had to take down one man to set it that he obviously tries to score. In the game they played at Borussia Dortmund, he was silent. The only attempt he did was to really struck the post, but Kylian Mbappe was not Mbappe-ring. You get? Yesterday night, I tell you what, Mbappe was not playing like that player, saying, I would love to obviously take the last moment and take this team to the finals of the Champions League, because we know what Mbappe does. He has quality players around him. When you look at that starting 11 of PSG, they really have quality around them, and every time he does that, I tell you what, I feel like they made a very huge mistake, because if you're having Goncalo Ramos or Randal Colmouani leading the line of PSG, they get different results. I think they can even knock out Borussia Dortmund, but having a striker or a left forward who doesn't really put in a shift, it's really very, very bad. And I think it's high time this project is handed to Moussa, he's called what? Dembele, right? They should give it to Dembele, because Dembele was the bright spark. Vitinha, you get? But not to forget, they went ahead to hit 4 posts. The ball ricocheted off the goal frame 4 times. And at when they're playing in Germany, it ricocheted off the frame of the goal twice. So, looks like Borussia Dortmund has all the luck. And when you look at him going through like that, with a very huge defensive discipline, you have to think about who they're going to play in the final. If they're playing Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, those teams need to obviously put up the best, because they'll open up, and Dortmund is going to show us that they can defend very well, and they can really hit you in the break and really cause a lot of havoc. And in the final, it's going to be played on neutral ground. You get? It's Wembley. Bayern or Real Madrid will be having 40,000 fans. The same applies to Borussia Dortmund, 40,000 fans, and the 10,000 are going to be neutral. So it's going to be a 50-50, and no one will come out and say, I never had supporters into that stadium. That is the beauty of this. But welcome to the Rokani Media Football. Good morning. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. This is the Football News Show, and hope you guys really get all along with it. Yesterday, I know you were thirsty about my content. I went ahead to upload one video, but I'm back with a recharge, and today we might go 7, right? Because we know a lot has to be put onto the table. So we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum. It's a Wednesday, and it's the 8th of May 2024. Hope you guys are really good. Mbappe out, Sancho in the USL final. It's really very good for Jodan Sancho that Sancho is in the USL final, I tell you, because falling out with Enrique Ten Hag, going to Borussia Dortmund, and he's in the USL final. It is a double-edged sword that United benefits and Borussia Dortmund benefits. I tell you, United might scoop back its money. They might sell that player £70 million. I know very many teams are really looking at him and they'll be like, we want Jodan Sancho. We want Jodan Sancho. And I tell you what, it's really going to be a huge moment for Jodan Sancho in that ilk all together. So let's obviously start it off with Luis Enrique. Before we go all that, it was a very good header that Matt Hummels directed into the back of the net, and it went in the back of the net. That's the only goal that took them through. You get? And he was the same man responsible for scoring a goal down in Germany, and he has gone ahead to take Borussia Dortmund into a Champions League final, and that is really great for him as a player. Now, Enrique, the manager of PSG, said, we hit the post 6 times. We had 31 shots on goal, but we didn't score. It feels impossible to believe this. Our XG tonight has been 3. Borussia Dortmund has been around 0.7. They scored, we didn't. This is football. We accept the verdict. Congratulations to Borussia Dortmund. And I've gone ahead to be passing on the same message to the people that support Man United. And Arsenal fans are the best to know this. They printed t-shirts that Arteta should be sacked from Arsenal, and the board knew what they're all about. They built a very good side, and see how the team of Arsenal is looking like. You get? And for PSG, I think all they have to do is to keep this man and keep him around, because when you look at the style of play, it's really clear. They attack very well. They build from the back. Their transitions are really good. The fluidity into the final third is really great. You see the rhythms, the patterns, the pressing is really great, and it was only luck that was not onto their side, that they struck the post 6 times into encounters, and it shows you exactly how things change. But for me, Enrique, I'll really keep him around for a very long time possible, and that's football, and that's what football really brings into your jurisdiction. Then we have Kylian Mbappe. It's a long process to win the Champions League, and I'm sure PSG are not far from that. We are sad tonight. We are disappointed. Now, when you look at Kylian Mbappe, I don't expect him to come out and say that he's disappointed, because he never represented. And one of the things we're going to hate to know Kylian Mbappe on is to raise up on big occasions. By the way, that's what made him a different player. When it comes to raising up on different occasions, this boy never really down tools. But I don't know why, in the moment where he was needed most by his team, he never really showed up. I don't know what's really wrong. Is he like showing them, please let me go, I'm going to Real Madrid, my head is no longer here, because he knows to it that if Madrid can reach the semi-finals without Kylian Mbappe, then they can obviously play in a final next season when they're really having Kylian Mbappe. And it's a given, because you add Kylian Mbappe to Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham, obviously that trio will cause havoc to very many teams in the Champions League. So that is Kylian Mbappe for you. And we are really excited to see how things go on with him into his new journey. But I tell you, he's really not in the mood to obviously play for this side. Then the president of PSG, that is El Khalifi, he said, we are very, very disappointed with the result. Sad, of course, but I think we deserved better tonight. The players, the coach, we gave everything. The supporters, honestly, fantastic, he told Canal Plus. Now, this is why I don't want Thomas Tuchel to come to manage my team. Thomas Tuchel was at PSG. He lost in the Champions League final in 2020, and I think 2021 he got himself sacked. I think they sacked him and they brought in Pochettino. Now, did you see any style of play that he had gone ahead to instill in those players of PSG? The answer is no. But when you look at what this man has gone ahead to instill into these players, you see to it that there is a clear style of play. They're having young players, and that team of PSG next season is really gonna be on fire because if in their first attempt, to reinvent their team and really get in young talent, has seen them play into the semi-finals of the Champions League, they'll know what they need to reinforce that side and then hit the ground running. And I tell you, PSG might win the Champions League next season without Mbappe, Neymar, Lionel Messi, Verratti, Di Maria, Sergio Ramos, name it. Name all the star players in there for you, because that is a team that will press as a unit, and they'll really attack and defend as a team. They'll know we have no star player here, but we are building a team for the future. And I tell you what, I was excited when I heard the president back the manager in public. He said, "Are you serious with this question? Honestly, do you know and understand some football? We're establishing a long-term project with the youngest squad in Europe. Future will be bright. We will keep going." So they're establishing a young project, and that's why the likes of Gatla went ahead to leave the side of PSG, because when this man was coming in through, he had his own plans, and I think he is here to stay. And that is what football is all about. If you are a United fan outside there, look at what Enrique is going to have to be given. That's what Ten Hag needs. Back the manager, and the rest will be history for the club of Man United. So PSG is disappointed. Mbappe is disappointed. But I tell you what, they deserved it, because they never really killed off their chances. You get? And let's go into Laura Hunter via Sky Sports. He said, if you looked at the stats in isolation, you would scarcely believe the scoreline. Across the two legs, PSG registered 45 attempts on Borussia Dortmund's goal. Just tonight, they had 30, 5 on target, XG 3.2, but Borussia Dortmund were known for moving. Quite incredible stuff. Yeah, I understand what he's talking about, but they defended very well. And there are moments, each and every time those balls ricocheted off the frame of the goal, where this side of Dortmund fought for the second balls. I tell you, one of the most important attributes to give a team a win is who wins the second balls. Now, they are fighting for the second balls, and even if those balls found a player of PSG into their 18 yards box area, they made sure that they compacted that 18 yard box area. And every time they try to shoot, if it doesn't go at goal, it obviously deflects off a player. They had numbers and they represented, and it shows you what the plan of the manager was. You get? And to talk about the stats, let me try to throw them onto your screen and see how they went ahead to do their job. 30 shots by PSG, 7 shots by Borussia Dortmund, 5 shots on target by PSG, 3 shots by Borussia Dortmund, 70% ball possession by PSG and 30% ball possession by Borussia Dortmund. This is what Enrique gives you. 659 passes completed by PSG, 295 passes completed by Borussia Dortmund, 89% passing accuracy, 77% passing accuracy. 8 fouls by PSG, 6 fouls by Borussia Dortmund. 2 yellow cards to PSG, 2 yellow cards to Borussia Dortmund. 0 red cards to both sides, 0 offsides to PSG, 2 to Borussia Dortmund. 12 corners to PSG and 4 corners to Borussia Dortmund. That's how the stats went down into that beautiful game of football that we have played. Now we had some Blitz who had something to say about this encounter that saw Dortmund knock out PSG. What a moment for Borussia Dortmund, who had them in the Champions League final at the start. Who had them in the Champions League final at the start of the season? Question. PSG can't believe it. They hit the post 6 times across the 2 legs, but failed to score once. They had 44 shots across the 2 legs, but it will be Dortmund's dominant defense, not Mbappe's magic, into the Wembley final in June. So, the defense of Dortmund needs to be given a very huge haul. And when you hail them, you really have to give them a very big applause, because keeping a clean sheet in 2-legged semi-final, it's known for the cowards, meaning that they went ahead to put in a very huge brave performance. And I just went ahead to go to what Fabrizio Romano put up, as I pointed out one superstar that you need to look at, who was played as a central attacking midfielder at Chelsea, and now he's into the Champions League final, and he's known as Maatsen. Look at his journey. Special moment for Ian Maatsen here with his family after the game. May 2023 championship with Burnley. August 2024, Burnley permanently rejected by the player. January 2024, joins Bayern Munich on loan, and in May, he's playing into the Champions League final. In the contract, there is a 35% release clause into his contract, and I tell you, sorry about that, Maatsen deal to Borussia Dortmund is going to be made permanent. So guys, that's what I had for you this morning. Go into the comment section and tell me what you think about Mbappe out. I'm sorry, I said Mbappe out, but Mbappe out, and Jodan Sancho into the USL final. May the living to God bless you abundantly. I call upon for your honest thoughts about this beautiful game of football in here for you. This is Rokani David. First video of the day. More is yet to come. We out.